Hello, this is the Hope Project, user research archive, doing some research at worldsocialism.org again. Marcos is like the magic 8 ball for product design development ideas. Um, he gives rather incomprehensible advice and um, is generally the most difficult person to convince in the world. This makes him valuable for research purposes. He hates me. So this is a conversation we're having. Prakash PR wrote, I am Steve San Francisco, User Experience Research Specialist. And Prakash PR wrote, money cannot measure the worth of a commodity. By definition, money is meant to serve fundamentally a dual purpose. One, to measure the value of a commodity. And two, to act as a medium of exchange of commodities. But which value, viewed from on. Prakash is rather hard to understand. And I'll leave it to you to go to this URL here and read his earlier writing and his introduction. This is his discussion that he started, and I'm taking just a small piece of it. Most of it was unintelligible to me and of little interest, but this was a gem I thought I could take and expand on for some user research. I actually wrote, I think, proof by contradiction. What did I write? Oh, yeah. Your thesis is wrong. So I'm starting by challenging him with the confrontation. This will make him adversarial, but it will also get his attention. Here is proof by contradiction where I measure the value of a commodity and money for you. All right, so he said that he could measure the value of it's meant to serve a dual purpose. Oh, so it is relevant because he's actually arguing that you cannot, see, this is a bigger one. I should go to his first discussion point. Yeah. All right, well, let me just go on with this, and I'll go back to the beginning of the conversation at the end of this conversation. Anyways, I said you create a form of money based on hours of your personal time. In hour.coin currency, the value of your personal time is stated in dollars per hour. If you have a pay stub from your boss, then your hourly rate is clearly shown at $25 per hour, for example. Now, you can buy something like a toaster by paying in units of minutes of your time. For example, a toaster that cost $50 would cost you 2 hours of your time to buy. Finally, there is a line to get to buy the toaster at the store that you have to spend your time waiting in. How much is your time waiting in line worth if the line is sorted by highest hourly rate first? The person in line with the highest hourly rate, $100 per hour, for example, would go to the front of the line and be served first. If it would save that person maybe 15 minutes of time waiting in a long line. The 15 minutes saved in line has a value to the rich person of $25. However, since the purchase price is also stated in minutes of time, the first person in line, pays a cost of the 2 hours price for the toaster multiplied by their individual hourly rate, plus the wait time in line, parentheses, $100 per hour times 2 hours purchase price, plus 0 wait minutes times $100 per hour, equals $200. Another person at the end of the line, remember the line is sorted by highest hourly rate first order, whose time is valued at $10 per hour, will pay $10 per hour times 2 hour price tag plus wait time times $10 per hour equals $22.50. We have therefore measured the utility value of waiting in line as a common way of converting between hourly units of money and any other unit of measure for money. So Marcos wrote back, in some way, his thesis is correct. What is not correct is his allegations that he is the originator of this thesis. It existed for many years, and Marx also described it on Capital. That is plagiarism. What is not correct is his point of view regarding socialism and capitalism. And he doesn't understand that capital is a critique to the capital political economy, and he is taking literally many conceptions and have applied them to socialism. What can I say to that? At Marcos, I agree with you. My knowledge of your terms are foreign to me in their details and histories. I understand only the gist of them, and I forget their names and branches with pathetic reliability. I love that you connect my language with Marx. Can you tell me which sections and cite specific parts I plagiarize so I can learn from them and apply the lessons to my product development efforts? Question mark. Your minutes of effort spent in your reply will count as investment credit in the Hope Project. Your reply has been recorded as a default 5-minute purchase of time for reading, writing, and reasoning, and can be referenced and claimed as voting rights in later project decisions. Thank you for your time and attention in your reply, which has been valued at 5 minutes in our investment creditor contribution time value accounting system. If you find and reply with specific citations to Marx, you are eligible for additional voted and prize-awarded minutes of credit through our crowdsourced product and design contest system. Your investment credit of 5 minutes in the Hope Project hours equals price will accrue with interest if you take no action and can be claimed at a later date by referencing this conversation and proving you are the owner of the account. Note, this offer and agreement to accept value payment in minutes does not require your immediate time or attention, and any decision on this topic can be delayed for evaluation by a crowdsourced jury that can adjust time or value metrics and verify with human minutes any transaction disputes. This agreement to exchange time value is of no cash capital value and is outside the jurisdiction of most commerce and trade laws, but must comply with them if applicable. I would like to add that while this is a pricing model is profitable to the seller, there are many emergent side effects of free market use of this in the economy. I have a white paper and product introduction slideshow I can link to if you ask and want to know more in more friendly formats. I also have a Facebook, YouTube, Patreon account for the project with user research interviews and a collection of over 10,000 hours of effort on research and product development. I would like to know what this means to you since I have applied for Foundation Seed Grant to develop hourly rate pricing for the most sustainable and distributed and individualized good. Alright, so I really like this receipt format here that I'm prototyping and testing with Marcos. Marcos is the person who does not want to buy into this project. He does not want a receipt. He does not want anything. This is how the Hope Project suggests you deal with very reluctant people. It's a good strategy and sales and marketing pitch. And this is why I come here, because they're good brainstorming material. I don't think Marcos was actually even replying to me when he says this. I think he's not talking about my thesis, and he's not talking about me alleging my allegations about the originator of that thesis. But I thought that when I wrote this response, because I'm egocentric. And so all of this I interpreted as being a critique about my comment. But in retrospect, it was probably just a critique about this. I doubt he even read what I wrote, except for the part I left out in my quote. Your thesis is wrong. Here's my proof by contradiction, where I measure the value of commodity and money for you. I left that out in my reply to Marcos to fake news him. This will piss him off inordinately. An angry Marcos is a useful Marcos for brainstorming. I feel bad about doing this to him. I've put him on a cross. But he is the face of communism, or so he claims. He believes to be a true communist socialist and authority on all things communist and socialist. When Marcos writes, it is true in a Russian accent. You have to say, when Marcos wrote, it must be true in a Russian accent. That is Marcos' worldview of himself, and he's excellent for producing brainstorming material, and this is brilliant. I'm going to reuse this, and I'm using it now as good user research. So, what is this? I don't know how long we've been recording.